I currently have a solo exhibition, Reembodying The Real, showing at Boogie Wall Gallery, Mayfair, which includes previously unseen works from my 2018 Genesis series related to my Ghanaian ancestry. So I'm going to tell you a bit about these works. There are three distinct elements in this series of works. First, there is the big signature piece, the Rebirth of Amma, which occupies its own space in terms of technique and imagery. Then there are the large works on paper, which comprise a series of body prints. And finally, there are the small works on paper, which are mostly works made with the pages of a large and rather beautiful 17th century Bible. In 2016, I went to Ghana with my sister to visit our mother and to see if I could find any old photographs to use in my work. I was looking for something striking that would connect my work to my ancestry, and this is where I found the bold and beautiful photograph of my great-grandmother holding my grandmother Adelaide as a baby. The photo was taken in 1920, the year of my grandmother's birth, in what was then the British Gold Coast. The idea of this striking woman, my direct maternal ancestor, existing at this time and place intrigued me, and I wanted to know more about her. Sadly, we only know her name and that she died quite young. My grandmother lived to her 90s but passed away way before I thought to ask her any questions about her mother. I decided then and there that I wanted somehow to know her in my own way through my work. I took a photograph of the photo and immediately started using it in various works such as To Know Her, Great Angel Mother, and Great Angel Golden Mother. Just before I started prepping for Genesis, I made a piece which was later named The Ancestor Rebirth of Amma, as it was a miniature version and much smaller and came before the Rebirth of Amma. The Rebirth of Amma is composed of multiple versions of Amma and Grandma repeated over the entirety of this 3x4 meter work. She appears in some places and she disappears in others. She is known and unknown at the same time, just like she is to us. We know her name and her face, and a part of her lives on in her descendants. She is a spectre and I am a spectre of her in a way. That's interesting to me. The work is a sort of homage to someone I could never know but who looked statuesque, beautiful, and proud. I often wonder if she was politically aware and how living under colonial rule impacted her life and the lives of her children. This photo really was the beginning of my interest in the exploration of colonial history through my work. The Bible pages came about because I found this discarded Bible. Someone had placed it outside their studio when I was at Thameside Studios in Woolwich with a note on it saying, "Please take." I couldn't believe my luck as it was simply beautiful, and I love books. But it was falling apart, and at the time I considered trying to fix it, but that would have been impossible as some of the pages were stuck together and the spine was completely ruined. When I started working on Genesis and I knew I wanted to bring in the spiritual and religious aspect of colonial imposition, everything just clicked into place. All of the body print works in this series were made with pigment and grease, and I was inspired when I read that this was how David Hammons made many of his body print works and developed my own way of doing it. I feel that bringing my physical self into these works, which hint at colonial history, really brings the past and the present into sharp focus. This is important for me because the Ghanaian concept of Sankofa is at the core of everything I do. Sankofa means it is not wrong to go back and pick up that which is forgotten. In other words, it is important to understand your history so that you do not repeat the mistakes from the past in the present. Lastly, aside from the Bible pages and the rebirth of Amma, each of the works is named after a Ghanaian proverb. This naming ties the works to my ancestral heritage.